against, and they willingly accept that challenge, I mean, I'm tuning in.
Oh, Golovkin is an interesting discussion for me. As much as people like to get a guy credit, I don't know why. I don't know if it's other people don't want to fight him. I don't know if he's giving them the splits that they want. I don't know, but he can't seem to land a legit opponent that you can actually recognize based off his body of work and not off of what ESPN feeds you or HBO feeds you. I have actually seen Lemieux fight. I feel like he fought another Canadian, whether it was Butte. Yeah, that's who I actually think it was. And he was actually losing the fight when he landed a big shot and knocked him out in the
later in the round,
in the 11th or 12th round. So honestly, I'm not really sold on how great he is.
He fights kind of square. You know, he's kind of squared up. He sits down on everything.
Every single punch he throws.
And he's just trying to take your head off.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be a good fight from that standpoint. We all know Golovkin tends to let people hit him. And in his last fight, he said he let the guy hit him on purpose to try and build up the drama. As
drama show.
The drama show, which I hope that somebody pulls him to the side and says that's not that's not proper or what you should be referring to it as. But for me, I would love to see Golovkin get one of the top three guys at 160. Well, he's actually one of the top, but one of the other top guys at 160.
It just disappointed me about Peter Quillin not stepping up to the plate.
Well, I honestly think after Quillin had the struggle that he had against
Andy Lee,
yeah, I think it really changed, a little bit of his, because like we said, he's not polished. He just comes out there and tries to knock you out, and I think Andy Lee stung him, and I think it made him say, okay, let me slow down.
To one of your points, we always talk about boxing and body types. Quillin is just one of those dudes that doesn't have those thick calves, man. And same kind of thing with Danny Jacobs. It's not the rule, but I look at that foundation on fighters. Yeah. Imam is another thin leg guy, and when you just don't have that nice solid base down there, I just worry about that power.
One punch
really being there. Well, even that's speaks to your ability to take a punch, but also I just wonder about your force in being able to generate that power when you have those thin calves and small ankles and all that stuff. So that's one thing I just noticed about Quillin. But like I said, I was trying to bring up David Lemieux's fight just to confirm who it was, but
they got Lemieux as number 5, and they have the ESPN rankings, and Gennady is number 2. So, I guess that's fine. You got Kid Chocolate at 3, Andy Lee at 4. I honestly would say, I guess if I wanted to see Miguel Cotto fight any of those top 5 guys, it probably would just be Gennady Golovkin. There's Jacobs is at 8, so I guess a victory for him, maybe he can jump into the top 5, depending on if Lemieux loses. There's an undefeated guy from England, Saunders, and he's fighting Andy Lee in a battle of, the European fighters.
Right.
I feel like the problem why I think Miguel Cotto was able to step up in the division and take it over with that victory over Sergio Martinez, it kind of made me realize just how little boxing skills a lot of these guys in this division have. Kid Chocolate always has his chin up.
Right.
Always has his chin up. Jacobs, I feel the same. His head movement is no head movement. He comes forward, but he can be hit. I feel like Gennady is another guy. Don't have a lot of head movement, can be hit. Lemieux, I guess he has a puncher's chance. And I guess in boxing, that's all you want to have, on any given night. So it should be an interesting fight as long as it lasts. He knocked Hassan down. Yeah, he knocked him down 4 times, and I'm pretty sure Kid Chocolate knocked him down about 6 or 7 times when they fought. So I don't know. Does he have power? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just checking that one out. Lastly, to close it out, to your point again, that's just one thing where I see why so many people migrate towards MMA. Here's Floyd Mayweather with a couple of titles at the ring and the WC belts at junior middleweight at 154, and he hasn't fought at 154 since taking the belts from Canelo, right. Which was a year and a half ago or something, or even longer. So that's just a disgusting thing about boxing. You have Charlo there at 154, Jamel.
Both of them, right?
Yeah, you have both of them in the top 10. I'm not a big Austin Trout fan, but no. Lara is there, to your point. Canelo Alvarez, Venus Martirosyan, which I liked his last couple of fights. And then, of course, Cornelius Bundridge. And Julian Williams has finally worked himself into the discussion at 154. So I just want, like I said, we'll see what Floyd does, but that's just a black eye in boxing that a guy can sit on a title for that long and be inactive. And then we get into the catch weight stuff, and like I said, here's Golovkin trying to fight Kovalev, who they're former sparring partners, and then also keeping one eye on a fight with Floyd. So you're gonna go down 7 pounds or go up 8 pounds. That's just bad business for me, man. Any final words on anything?
I will say, when you brought up the MMA, I feel like the PBC is boxing's step in the right direction to potentially challenge MMA, having that
to regain some ground.
Yes, and it gives you a chance to follow some of these guys. Because one thing I did notice, when they have a fight night, usually it's on 2 or 3 different networks, and you can actually watch boxing for about a 6-7 hour window,
right?
Which boxing hasn't had that for a while. So I will say that's one thing I give credit to the PBC for, because they are putting some of these guys out here, and you get a chance to watch them fight 3 or 4 times over a course of 2 years, and you can actually start to follow a fighter.
Yeah, like I said, my only thing is bring the fights back to Friday night more often. To me, and you just made that point, but having the PBC card on network TV at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then bringing the big fight on Showtime or HBO later that night, to me, you're kind of cannibalizing your own audience, in my opinion, because I would think somebody would give you a Friday night and a Saturday versus sticking around for two broadcasts on Saturday night, especially if that PBC card was great. I'm gonna probably, maybe at the end of the night, I decide to go on and head out, and I just catch this rerun or something, or a second airing of it. So, and like I said, there's a lot of boxing going on. I'm hoping that the Woodson brothers have enlightened you in some ways or created some discussions about the sport. Again, you can find us on @WoodSense, WOOD Sense, CENTS. You can holler at me, the host of Pay Me No Mind, at E_pluribus_wood. Check out One Take Podcast Nation and various sites. Like I said, we just trying to cover some different things. Be on the lookout this weekend. I got my second Hops and Hoops discussion coming up with my guest G. Kaysen. That show was very well received last time out, so we're going to bring that back. I don't know what craft beer will be the subject of discussion this week, but, we're going to talk a little bit of hoops, maybe a little bit of entertainment. So, hey, thank you again a million times for pressing play. Thanks for my brother joining me to make this possible. And I'm going to go on and get on out of here. And before I go, remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.